Okay, now I've been talking about the massive potential gains that we can get from the pulse chain ecosystem. And what's happening? The prices have dipped. Now you might be asking yourself, David, you're talking about this 100x, when 100x? Right? So we're going to be talking about that and what exactly is happening, pulse chain, PulseX, and PulseShib as well, the meme coin that we've been covering. So we can see PulseX right now minus 27% and Pulse minus 19%. So what's exactly is going on? Now the first thing that you've got to understand is Hart's law. Now, Hart's law says that assets that are bonded together with by liquidity move up or move down together. So when Pulse goes down, Pulse X will most likely go down as well, and Hex will most likely go down as well. So having said that, right, we all know that the entire market is down right now. Bitcoin dipped. So Bitcoin is connected with Ethereum, bonded by liquidity. Ethereum is connected to most of the crypto space. And that includes Pulse Chain as well. We're all connected together, right? So Hart's law is the first reason why the prices are down, because Bitcoin is down, everything goes down. And also there is a whale that sold about a little over a million Pulse. And that also had a significant uh, pressure on the price. Because if we look here right now, we can see that yes, PulseX, Pulse Chain are possibly the ones that have dipped the most in the crypto space. So we have a whale that sold Pulse, and then that also affected PulseX as well, and the price dipped also. However, I think that this is not going to last long, right? I don't think the long term we're going to have whales selling off $1 million worth and driving the price down. Now, whales will still be impactful, but you're going to need a bigger whale in order to move price. Maybe a $50 million sell, or maybe even a $20 million sell can impact the price. But I think long term it's going to change a lot for several reasons. I'm going to start by explaining exactly how it works with Hex. When Hex was created, it was designed for price appreciation. And because of that, Richard Hart, when he set up the liquidity pool, and also a lot of Hexicans, when they set up their own liquidity pools, what they did is they did not put too much liquidity for both Hex and USDC or whatever trading paid they would set up with. Now, the reason why they don't put up too much coins is that when you put coins in a liquidity pool, essentially you're putting those coins almost kind of for sale, right? The liquidity provider is a buyer and is a seller of coins as well. So if you put a small amount, right? And then you know that there's a massive, big demand outside, right? Simple laws of economics tell you if the demand is high and the supply is low, prices go up. So by putting small amount of liquidity and then having massive demand, the price can easily pump to the upside. Now, the price can also easily pump to the downside because obviously someone can come and dump, and there's a limited amount of both buy and sell within the liquidity, the automated market maker, right? On Uniswap or whatever platform that you're using. So for those reasons, right, it's set up in a way that you can really skyrocket the price, but it's also set up in a way that it increases volatility. So that's the way it's set up. However, I don't think this strategy will work with Pulse Chain, and I'll tell you why. Right now, what we're starting to see with Pulse Chain, we saw the exchange listing with OKX. Now, what that means is that we've got our liquidity pair on PulseX. We're going to have another liquidity pair on OKX. I think other exchanges are going to be attracted to listing Pulse Chain as well for several reasons. One, huge community. Two, there's massive demand. Our community has grown significantly, and the demand for those coins has also grown significantly. So for those reasons, I think that it's going to be very difficult. Right? That's one reason. The amount of exchange listings plus the demand and the exposure you get from those exchange listings creates much, much more demand. The other reason is this: we see people building on Pulse Chain, right? We've seen several teams building. You know, we've got your liquid loans, we've got your fiat, all sorts of protocols that are on Ethereum that are being forked over. Now, what happens is for most of those protocols, Pulse Chain is going to be a token that they utilize within their ecosystem. And not just for gas, because obviously you need Pulse for gas. But if you have a lending protocol, you might use Pulse as one of your tokens that you deposit Pulse, you can borrow a stable coin, right? If you've got liquid loans, for example, they'll have a stable coin which can be backed partially by Pulse tokens. So you've got utility, you've got exchanges providing a wider base of customers. You've got different applications building for Pulse Chain that are incorporating that, increasing the demand as well for those Pulse tokens. And then you've got obviously the leverage trading people as well are going to want a piece of that action. So you'll be able to form 100x on Pulse if you want to. If you want to do those 100x leverage trading, you'll be able to do that. I think all those use cases are going to create really, really thick liquidity. I almost said liquidity. Oh my God. Thick liquidity. So it's going to make it very difficult to dump the price or pump the price for kind of medium level whales. It's going to need the big guys the top guys to really move the price significantly. So I do think that now, because of this, right? Once you if so, I expect Pulse to pump up and then stabilize, and then after that we're gonna have slow pumps. I don't think we're gonna continue to have pump after pump after pump. We're gonna pump and then start to have that slow growth, slow growth, slow growth. The reason I say it is because obviously, right? Once you have that thick liquidity, it means that it's very hard for the price to go down. So it's hard for the dips, but it's also not going to be as easy for the pumps as well. So I expect us to have a really good one big pump up, then we stabilize, then everyone gets their pulse, right? The 100x guys get their pulse for whatever 100x trading they want to do. The application developers get their pulse for all the applications that they want to build, and the centralized exchanges get their pulse. The decentralized exchanges also get their pulse, right? And even some of the pulse that's bridged onto Ethereum, maybe some of the pulse that's bridged onto Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, all that, everyone gets their pulse. I think we're going to stabilize, and then we're going to have a slow growth, just the same way Bitcoin is a slow growth. So that's my view of exactly what will happen. So all in all, it is kind of good news that yeah, I don't know if I should call it good news, sorry, but I think it is what it is. So I do think that yes, the big pump is coming, and no one should miss the big pump, right? Because after the big pump, then we've got the slow pump, right? That's how I view things. That's how I think it's going to work out. Now let's talk about PulseShib. We've been covering this meme coin for some time now, and it has had a dip as well, right? Like other coins, but this one I think, yeah, it's dipped a little bit more, but obviously it's a smaller, ultra low cap gem, and the liquidity is much thinner, so it does that reflexive stuff as well. It pumps hard, it dips hard as well. So right now it's dipped to the market cap of 236,000. Now there are some things that I do like here. There are some things that I do like, and I'm just going to cover it, right? Because right now what we see some buys here, right? Like we see this buy here for 286. It can get you 993 million, right? We see this 336. Sorry, 236 can get you 1.2 billion, right here. 236 can get you 1 point, and this is like let's say the total supply is 1 trillion, right? So that means that 10% is 100 billion, 1% is 10 billion. So this is 0.1% of total supply, right? So I think that is huge, and I do think that this meme coin will do well. I think it'll do well. So I think if you're getting an opportunity to buy, let's say 0.1% of for like $300, I think that's good. I think that's because in this case, if you structure your buys smartly, anyone who would want to structure their buy smartly, you can get about 10 billion with say about 4 grand, right? Because you deploy maybe a little bit, buy a little bit, deploy a little bit, buy a little bit, deploy a little bit, buy a little bit. I think you can definitely get to 10 billion PulseShib with 4 grand, which I think is a good buy, which definitely puts you in the top whale positions, right? And I don't think that there are many projects that I think will do extremely well with this kind of opportunity is there. Now, even if you, I think the on the PulseShib Twitter group, they were talking about it, that look, there's a point when Shiba Inu had a very tiny market cap in the thousands and then in the millions, right? And then now it's sitting in the billions as well. So this, like any cryptocurrency, can pump insane levels, right? Obviously, there's always risks and all that. Do your own research and all that other good stuff. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all of this. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again next time.